Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Sports Talk. In studio with my man Joey Martin for Champion Sports Talk. How are you?
I'm great, brother.
I said in studio. We're not in studio. It's been a long week.
Studio.
This is our Champion Sports Talk studio. The awesome Magnolia Bluff Casino Playmakers room right here. This is our studio.
That's right.
That's right. We got our sign up here, so it's official. As always, we're driven by Sango GMC. I got to see my buddy Mart this past weekend for some balloon race fun. Always good seeing him. Go over there and they'll take care of you. Before we get started, just thank all of our awesome partners who make this show possible and everything that we do at Miss Lou Champion Sports Talk. Gregg Vet, Magnolia Bluff Casino, Hicks Chiks, Trinity Medical, and all of the awesome partners that you see on the screen right now, including Concordia Sentinel, where Joey's been working his magic for many years, doing a great job.
Thank you.
And also I wanted to shout out my buddy Jason Hennington and Jason's Body Shop as a new partner for Miss Lou Champion. He does great work over there, and we're excited to have him as part of our champion team. So Joey, let's see what we're looking at here. Well, first of all, I wanted to say real quick again, before we get started on the local talk, we're thinking about all of our military men and women overseas with everything going on in the world. And then also, I know that you're with me on this, and we wanted to say our thoughts are out for the Novak family.
Sure.
I know those guys that family's going through some hard times right now. So thoughts and prayers with you guys. Joey, we've got Delta Charter head coach Blake Wheeler on the show
yes,
today.
Yes, we do.
We're looking forward to that. They're having a good year.
They are.
He's been in here giving us a pep talk before we got started, so we should be good today.
Fired up.
Yeah. He was making us run into each other and stuff like that before the show. So we'll kind of hit our local sports, and then we'll get Coach Wheeler on and give him a good little run.
Sounds good.
All right, what we got on the local
looking back, Friday night, Faraday took on Mangum, and it was Faraday's homecoming, and my goodness, that was quite an atmosphere. And I knew Faraday was going to be in trouble when the Mangum coach, Scott Wiltshire, told me, this is the first time I've ever been somebody's homecoming foe. I went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, they had a lot of motivation. They jumped out to a 44-14 lead.
That's kind of like the story that Coach Faircloth said whenever he called Haynesville and said, "Coach, I'd like to schedule." And the Haynesville coach said, "Nobody's ever called me to schedule before." Right. And Coach Faircloth said, "Maybe I got the wrong number."
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
That reminds me of that story.
But Faraday cut the lead to 30-14, but then Mangum hit a screen pass 60 yards, 10 seconds in the half, and went up 44-14. That was a killer right there. The Trojans play Plaquemine this Friday in Plaquemine, and really good ball club, and they were undefeated when they played Faraday last year, and they got some athletes, so they're 6-2 on the season, so tough task for the Trojans.
Faraday's had a tough schedule this year.
Yeah.
They played some tough teams.
Yeah, they had Waspen right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, their district's tough anyway.
Yeah.
Badea dropped its fifth straight game as the Vikings fell to General Trask 43-14. Kind of an ugly game, a lot of penalties. Trask led 15-0 at halftime. Badea had an opportunity after John Jones recovered a fumble, but turned it back over. So Badea hosts Madison Friday, and that's their final home game of the season. And it's a winnable game and one they certainly need at this stage.
I ran into Coach West's mother yesterday, and super sweet lady, and she was just saying that it's been a tough year, but she said it's going to get better. We're all optimistic, and it's going to get better. They're already looking forward to next year.
Yeah, and that's one thing about it. He hasn't let it get him down. He's still energetic, and
really, she said she didn't say we're looking forward to next year. She said we're looking forward to the off season to get better, which tells me they're thinking about the process, not the outcome, which is the way to do it.
Yeah, he's talking to his kids. Hey, you got to get in the weight room. He wants to start a powerlifting team and get the junior high. That's so huge, as Blake can tell you.
Yeah.
You've got a good junior high program. It means a lot when they get to the high school, when you don't have to sit there and teach them everything and waste your time when they know stuff. And they're coachable.
And I think Coach Gardner does a good job down there.
He does.
Junior high. It's just a matter of getting them all on the same page,
Right.
and really just in that weight room.
Yeah.
Because you got your teams, you got some of these teams around the state that they're on the same page from like Pee Wee all the way up.
Right.
They're running the same plays and making sure they understand, that system all the way up until.
Well, and I was mentioning this before when South Natchez was so good with Ed Reed, at all three schools, middle schools, they were running the box the same way.
Yeah.
And it just
they're practicing that
right.
same system.
They step in up at varsity and they know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we also had ACCS. They're traveling. I didn't know this, and Blake probably does. I always called it Bayou, but it's Bio Academy in Cleveland. I never knew that till this week when a couple of people told me, no, it's spelled Bayou.
Yeah.
I mean, how else would we know? But
tomato, Bayou, down on the Bayou.
That's it. But it's Bayou. I didn't know that. But AC defeated Cathedral 30-8 Friday. They're ranked number 10 in the South. Bayou Academy is number 7 seed from the North. The Colts have beat Washington, Leak, Pillow, Magnolia Heights, and they lost to Jackson Academy, Starkville, and Copiah. Some good teams. So it's of course ACCS is going to have to play every game on the road because they finished behind Park Lane and Copiah. So that's going to be tough. But still, David actually told me that he would prefer playing on the road because being the headmaster, which he says I'm headmaster, superintendent, principal, he's got to take care of all these things with your home game, parking and making sure everybody's in place. So he doesn't have to worry about that. It kind of.
Yeah, I've never thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
He can just focus on football.
Right. Of course, fans have to travel, which is the bad part, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, Cathedral, they went 2-8, but they showed a lot of improvement, as you know, through the year.
Yeah.
And Josh Lloyd did great. They had a tough schedule, and things are going to get better there.
Yeah, and it was nice of him to come on last week.
Absolutely.
He just like Coach West over in Vidalia, Coach Loy's not the year exactly that he was hoping for,
right.
But it was a year to be expected, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't. You're not going to come in and really set the world on fire realistically. There's things that have to happen,
right?
Systems in place, and I think they're moving in the right direction.
They are.
And I see a lot of Cathedral folks on a daily basis, and everybody seems pretty excited.
Yeah, and they were in most of the games they played, so it wasn't like they just got blown out every week. They played well all year.
Yeah.
Cicely Allen and Block both fell in their contest, so Cicely Allen's still undefeated. Natchez High had a 4-game winning streak snapped, lost to Florence 35-20. Now they've got a huge game with Provine, which is 5-4. Natchez is 4-5, and that's a big game as far as playoffs and district standings. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, they're kind of which I think their schedule sort of dictated this a little bit, but they've had kind of the tale of two seasons. They started slow, and then they went on that 4-game winning streak.
4-game winning streak.
So now it'll be interesting to see how they can finish off the year.
Right.
Now.
Yes. Steve Davis is not real happy with his discipline in the loss. I'm sure he's going to work on that. But they can win their last 2 games and have a good seeding.
Yeah. Be fun to see how that plays out.
Absolutely. Now you were talking about Traylon Minor.
Yeah. Yeah, his grandmother works here at Magnolia Bluff Casino. And Traylon Minor, he's one of our local students that's playing college ball now. He plays for Co-Lin in Wesson. Number 25 running back, nicknamed the Iron Hog. She made sure to tell me he had a touchdown last week, and he's got 5 on the year.
That's awesome.
So that's a really good, and I think he's a freshman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a freshman. So he's got a bright future ahead of him.
He does.
I know she's proud of him, and so I said, hey, we're going to shout him out because we're proud of him too.
That's for sure. USM and Grambling were both off. So, but Freddie Mango played for Blake at Delta Charter. He's really stepping up on defense. He had, I think it was 6 tackles for Southwest Oklahoma State University, and he's led them in tackles like the last 3 weeks, and he's really coming on and playing well. I think he's finally comfortable and confident and just in a good place.
Okay.
He's showing out now.
Good. Anybody else out there that you got notes on for this week?
Not this week, but like I say, and we always say, if you know of someone we're missing, please let us know.
Okay, and I think I'm starting to see posts coming up about some girls basketball.
Oh, it's here
coming up, and boys basketball will be here. So we'll be wrapping up. We've got a lot of fun local stuff coming because we'll be wrapping up football, and we'll be talking playoffs, and then we'll be talking basketball. Right. So I'm looking forward to these next few weeks for us.
Absolutely.
On the local scene.
Yeah, it really kicks in a couple of weeks, big time.
That's right. So who else? Do we have any other local talk?
That's all we've got now.
Okay. Well, we'll take a super quick break to recognize our awesome partners, and then we'll get Blake in, Coach Wheeler, so give him some time to spend, and we'll talk about last week, this week. So we'll be right back.
That had trouble written on.
Just said, but you hit me in the head. Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We're in the studio today with one of our awesome partners, Mr. John Hicks from Hicks Chiks, and we are here for a challenge. I grew up with a mama that could throw down in the kitchen.
I hear you.
So I'm used to homemade.
I think you'll be happy.
So I'm gonna taste these and I'll let you know from my expert homemade mama cooking how good these are.
They're good, I can tell you.
All right, John.
What do you think?
You win. This is delicious. It's unbelievable. I'm truly amazed that it tastes this good. It's that easy.
It's almost too good.
My name is Yvonne Ivory. I'm the lab director here at Trinity Medical. I have 40 years of medical laboratory experience.
Hello, my name is Mary Cubic. I am Trinity Medical Outpatient Specialist, and I've been doing this for over 40 years.
Our lab offers numerous services. We have an exceptional outpatient department. We provide phlebotomies and venipunctures for tests requested by physicians. Trinity Lab has the newest, most innovative equipment for specimen processing, yielding quick turnaround times for results. Doctors are able to diagnose and treat patients in a timely manner for faster healing. Our newest addition is our in-house microbiology department.
Hi, I'm Fayla Giddon, and I am the lead microbiology tech here at Trinity Medical. I have over 24 years of experience, and this is our brand new microbiology department. So if the doctors suspect infection, that's where we bring the cultures back here. We set them up on different types of media, depending on what type of culture it is. So if we have some growth, it'll be something like this. So we do some offline tests where we determine if it's gram positive, gram negative, and then we're able to set it up on our machines, and it's able to tell us the organism. It gives us an ID, and it also gives us a sensitivity, which shows the doctor what drug will treat the patient and kill the organism.
Here at Trinity, we are committed to providing excellent patient care and services to promote the healing of our patients and our community.
Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We're out at our awesome partners, Gregg Veterinary Clinic, and we are in the back in the Barkley Pet Hotel and Spa. I'm standing in the Magnolia Bell Suite, which is one of 5 elite boarding suites available to your 4-legged furry friends when you travel this summer. Each suite comes with a private bed, flat screen TV, 24/7 video monitoring, and a sliding door so your pet feels like they're home. They provide one-on-one walking and activities in a fenced-in private backyard. So call Gregg Vet Hospital today and request your pet suite at the Barkley Pet Hotel and Spa. They'll leave the light on for you. Call Gregg Veterinary Hospital today. We are back with the man with the plan. Coach Wheeler from Delta Charter. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing
Man,
good. Thanks for having me.
Good. I was telling you before came on. We've had a lot of nice people from Delta Charter who have supported our show so far, and we're really thankful for that. And a lot of people excited about your football team, and that's what we kind of want to talk about today.
Yep.
So, Joey, I'll let you drive the bus on this one, Joey.
Well, first of all, Blake, back in early August when it was like 100 degrees every day and you had one full-time assistant coach, did you think you'd be 6-1 at this stage?
Absolutely.
Thought you'd be 7-0, didn't you?
I tell you what, it was a lot of hard work that was put into it. I knew that we had certain kids in certain positions that could do special things. We just needed certain kids to be able to come around, and man, they have.
That offensive line.
That offensive line has been fantastic.
They have. That's been, I think, the surprise of the whole Miss Lou. Because neither of us expected what they did.
No, absolutely not.
Would you have maybe no returners?
Hey, one returning starter, Jalen Ivy. He was the only returning
you think that in the Miss Lou that particular unit, the Delta Charter offensive line has been your biggest surprise?
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
One
returning starter.
I mean, you see when the kids get off the bus, you go, there's no way that this offensive line can stay with them, and they have.
Right. They're I don't know, it's their mentality, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They have I told them offensive linemen have to have a nasty mindset, They have to have that killer instinct, and they do. They do. It don't matter how big they are, they'll go after them, and that's.
So let's name your linemen. They never get any kind of credit. So.
Left tackle is freshman Dalen Golston. Jalen Ivy is my left guard. My center is Jace Neal. Landry Freeman has been our right guard. He had a torn UCL this past week. He actually got that in the first quarter, and he finished playing the entire game. So, man, incredibly tough kid. And Timothy Harrell has been a big surprise. I mean, he's a weight room warrior. He always had that look, but he's finally getting that,
like Titus on the other side.
Yeah. And matter of fact, Titus will be starting at right guard this week because Landry will be out. So
I just spoke with Clay Freeman, my old buddy.
Yeah.
His dad, and they were a little bit bummed out about it because they'd come so far.
Yeah, I know, man.
But it's just one of those things. You just you heal up and you try to get back out there as soon as you can.
That's right. We're definitely going to miss him. That chemistry on that offensive line's a big thing,
Yeah.
And, but just, what I like about them is they're very intelligent. They're very football smart, and they can make adjustments. It's like whenever we played Willow, they'd played a 4-man front, the previous 2 films that we had seen, and they swapped to a 5-man front coming into the game, and our kids just picked it up like that, and man, that's big, whenever you have kids. Yeah, absolutely. So
Titus on the other side, I was just amazed at him Friday night.
I told him after the game, I said, man, I think every time I holler your name, come on, Titus. I said, I think you make a play. And I said, I'm going to start hollering your name every play.
And what'd you ask his mom after the game?
What she fed him this week? Because man, he was a man on fire. Yeah, keep feeding him that.
Yeah.
And he'd had an incredible game.
He did.
He and Timothy both, have had really fantastic seasons. I'm very happy with the progress they've made.
Well, speaking of the heat, we touched on this with David King and with Matthew Freeman and Josh Lloyd. How tough was it conditioning-wise, as far as 100-degree weather, and especially a small team like yours?
Yeah.
You got to know how to push them, but still have them ready.
That's right. My rule whenever it was that hot was every 15 minutes we're going to take a water break in the shade. I've never been of the thought process that we got to push it 45 minutes to an hour, because, it's tough on these kids, in that kind of weather, and, but we made sure that they got plenty of water, stay hydrated. We keep our practice for the most part up tempo. We try to keep everything moving really quickly. So we don't have to do an incredible amount of conditioning at the end.
Okay.
But we do our conditioning, and I think the kids have held up well.
Absolutely.
So.
And it shows near the end of the year too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say? I know we're going to talk about the big games coming up and the rest of the year coming up, but kind of up to this point of the year, just reflect on what you're happy about, what you want to see improvements on, and stuff like that.
Well, I'm just happy that that the kids have been able to come together as a unit and play together. I love this team. It's a real family atmosphere with these guys. You know, they play for each other. They play hard for each other. You know, in games like, you know, I think back on the Willow game, the Lakeview game, you know, whenever we faced adversity and, you know, times were getting tough, they banded together.
And you tell me then that you don't know the last 2 years that those teams could have pulled out.
Right. Exactly right. And that shows growth and maturity in those kids, you know. But I tell you, it starts with our leadership, you know, with Javari and those guys like that. And even some of our juniors, you know, have stepped up and become leaders. You know, Davis and Lawson, and you know, even Otis, you know, is he's a character. Let me tell you what. But I tell you what, I've been so impressed by the way he's run the football this season, man. Yeah, he is.
That's Otis Bates Jr. And I saw his dad at Fairden.
I always heard his dad was a good player.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
And the way Otis is running now is the way his dad fared.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've been so impressed with him this year because last year I told him, you know, you're tiptoeing through the hole. You're not hitting the hole. This year, it's like he's fired out of a cannon, you know. He's just downhill with him and Javari both, you know, and then throw in Tyron, you know.
So you laughed when you said that. So what makes him a character? What's what can you share with us?
You just never know what you're going to get out of Otis. You know, we were at practice the other day, and I had taken him out and put another kid in, Hakeem Johnson. And I look over there and Otis has his shoulder pads off, leaned up against the water cooler. And I'm like, hey, put your pads on.
Taking a short vacation.
Yeah, he's a great kid, though, man. And we have fun at practice, and it's fun being around those kids. You know, I really enjoy being around them. They're a special group.
Very unselfish.
Very unselfish.
I mean, I look at Davis Cooper. When you run that sweep with Tyron, he's leading it.
Yeah.
He's looking for somebody just to, and he usually does.
Absolutely. I mean, he's kind of like the water boy, you know. He's just looking for somebody to hit, and he wants to hit them hard when he gets there. So, yeah, I had to tell him to dial it back a little bit at practice yesterday. He was killing our backs whenever we were running scout team offense. I'm like, hey, easy. But he's incredible, and you know.
But it was funny. You told me back in July, you asked me, you said, have you seen Javari and Davis lately? I said, no. I said, well, they've been working out on their own. And when I saw them, I was like, whoa.
Well, I'm telling you, and a lot of credit goes to Miss Mila McGraw. She has them up at core a lot during the off season, and I think Javari added 15, 20 pounds of muscle, you know, and Davis the same thing, you know. She also worked with Otis and Tyron, and that's it's incredible, you know. But you know, she basically told him, you know, you got to commit to 5 days a week because we work out 3 days a week in the summertime, and she said you got to commit to 5 days a week, no holidays off. You know, they started on Memorial Day. I mean, and that's right.
Yeah, and I think I talk to kids about this similar stuff all the time. But in this particular case, if you want to be great, if you want to be good, just do what people tell you to do and do it well. But if you want to be great, you've got to go out on your own and do things because you don't have enough time. Legally, you can't practice them enough, and you only have so many hours that you can spend with them legally. So it's really up to them to say, hey, I want to get better. I want to get stronger. I want to get faster. And they have to do it themselves if they want to be great.
Yeah.
Good's here, great's here.
That's right.
It's really just a decision.
It takes that extra effort. You know, it really does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, you're in your 7th year, which makes you the dean of coaches in Concordia Parish, and I think you're only behind David and Miss Lou. So, that's, you know.
Old man over here.
Yeah, old man, you know. That's right.
And you came in, and we've talked about this before. I mean, they had like 6 coaches in 6 years, and you brought stability and really put a foundation there.
Yeah, I think that, you know, coming in, that was one of the big things I wanted to develop was trust with those kids, and I knew it was going to take time. You know, Delta Charter's always had talented kids here and there. They always have, you know, from, you know, Trey and Freddie and Trey Griffin, you know, and all those kids. But, you know, what we were always missing was that depth. We were always missing, you know, not having to play both ways constantly and special teams, you know. And I think over time, you know, more and more kids started saying, hey, I think this guy's going to stick around, so we'll give it a shot, you know. And so now in 1A ball, you playing with 30, 35 kids, you know, that's a big difference from 15, 16 kids, you know. So, you know, I think that's the biggest thing, you know, those kids trust me, you know, and I've developed trust with them, you know, and man, we got a great parent group, you know, great fans, you know, that they're going to travel with us, you know. I can't tell you the times that we have went places and our side will be full and the other side at their home game wouldn't have very many fans, you know. So I don't take that for granted, you know. That's a big deal for me, the support that we get out of our parents and our school, you know.
You got an overall record of 35-41, which is to me is very totally amazing. When you got Ouachita Christian, Oak Grove, St. Fred, Cedar Creek, you had them almost every year, and so to have that is really saying something. Do you miss those games?
No.
I was about to say, let me answer that for you.
Look, I love good competition, you know. Whenever you're playing those teams, and I tell people this, you know, the difference right now is that we're still young overall in our career, I guess you would say. But you have the OCSs, Oak Groves of the world who have tradition. They have had, you know, championship teams over time, you know, and they have that tradition. You know, you grow up from, you know, being a tiny fellow wanting to play Oak Grove football, you know. And that's what I wanted to be like around here. That's what I wanted to get to that point around here, you know. You know, it's like Faraday. They have great tradition. You know, they have kids that come up wanting to play for Faraday, you know.
And hearing the stories and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I eventually want that to be, you know, kind of how it is at Delta Charter, you know, those kids coming up, you know, wanting to play for us. And we're starting to get that. Let me tell you what, Roy Ray's son, Holden, the little one, he would strap up on Friday nights if I would let him. I tell you, that kid, he is awesome. He is an awesome kid.
So
Roy's always thought I've known Roy forever. He always thought he was the biggest guy in the room. And I'm like, Roy, you might not come here, man. That guy's huge over there. But I think Roy might have been blind in one eye or something. I don't know, because he always thought he was bigger than everybody.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Roy and Charles Griffin, my two right hand men. I'll tell you what, they've done a fantastic job. I've kind of let them, you know, run with the defense, you know, and I kind of took the offense. But man, I couldn't do it without those guys. Man, they're there. They work full-time jobs, and then they come to practice. You know, I mean, I can't say enough about them, how special they are to me.
Well, did you have a favorite atmosphere from the schools you went to?
Are you talking about any time or this year? Or,
Anytime.
I don't know. I kind of always like playing Oak Grove. I like that atmosphere is something special. They In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins comes on, and man, you see that smoke coming up, you know, and stuff.
And Ryan's a good friend of yours.
Yeah. You know, Ryan's a great guy, man. Fantastic coach, you know. But they've got that tradition there, you know. And you see those little kids in the Oak Grove jerseys, you know, and stuff like that. And that's special, man.
It is.
That's special.
I haven't thought about that this whole year that we've been doing this show. I haven't really thought about that until you said that. But I've thought about as far as, like, we talked earlier about systems coming up and stuff like that, but I haven't thought about it from a mindset of kids buying in and, like, wanting to play and loving the culture and all of that kind of stuff. And that is, I mean, that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed.
And the success of your junior high program last 2 or 3 years has to make you feel better about the future.
Yeah, Boo and them do a great job, you know, with the junior high. Man, he comes to me at the beginning of every year, Coach, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? And I tell him, Boo, here's the playbook. Pick what you want out of it. I said, I would suggest this, this, and this, but you kind of go with it. And man, he goes with it and does a great job. Him and Roy and Terrell Fife has helped this year. You know, like I said, we got some really good parental involvement, but man, they do a great job with that junior high team, you know, and my son played on the junior high team this year, so I was fortunate I made it to every game, you know, so I got to bond with those kids a lot, you know, and man, future's bright. Future's bright.
It is.
So Terrell's got a lot of experience. Me and him we've been helping LSU coach for years now.
So have I, you know, from the couch. From the couch.
We've had a lot of deep conversations about Les Miles, you know, how to fix everything. And so he's got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right there with us on it.
Yeah. He and Cass Butler, he has also came out and helped us. And, man, it's just great having those guys who love being around kids and love being around sport, you know, and man, you can't have enough guys like that, you know. I mean, so we're blessed to have those guys. For sure.
So, still in select.
Yeah, I was looking at the brackets, projected brackets, and if everything goes according to plan, then I think we would play OCS in the second round. So I'm like, you know, can we get a break? But you know, my thought process is if you're gonna win a state championship, you're gonna have to go through them anyway.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you're gonna meet them, and so like I
Get
said
it over early.
about these kids, man, it doesn't matter who lines up across from them. They're gonna go at them. So
OCS beat the Texas state champions earlier this year, defending champion, and took the Arkansas Harding played them well.
Yeah.
And they're like one of the best teams in the state.
Right.
Arkansas.
Right.
But you were sitting at 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked it up. The teams above you have a total combined record of 74-19. So.
Yeesh. That's tough.
13 is not a bad place. When you look at it like that, yeah.
61, 8-0, 7-1, 7-1, 6-1. You got St. Martin, Episcopal, Watchtower Christian, Riverside Academy, Vermilion Catholic, St. Mary's. And you still kind of say, we did not belong in select. I mean, you can't use reason.
Right. And that's tough, you know, because you got to sell it to your kids that, you know, it doesn't matter who we play or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, it's tough.
It's tough.
Whenever, you know, you're not allowed to do certain things and you're still lumped into that group. I can't say too much because, you know,
well, Division 4 non-select.
He's trying to get you in trouble over here.
I'm not doing Tommy Tharp.
See, you said it. I didn't, Joey. I'm kind of.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, I do think it's sad that, you know, a coach can't speak their mind on certain topics.
It really is.
You know, I really do. But I'll leave it at that.
Moving on.
Well, we're going to get to the meaty part of it.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
You got Delhi Charter on the road. Man, I wish I was at home. But this is for the district championship. They beat you, what was it, 41-16 last year for the district title. So, and I talked to Jeremy Foote earlier this week, and he's all fired up about it, as you can imagine. And, you know, he said it's exciting where we are. It's been fun up to this point, but this is a game of the year. It gets the juices flowing. And, of course, they've got 3 Hoss running backs. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and he told me, he said, it's going to be up to us to stop their outside game, running game, and long ball, but they're going to have to stop our running backs.
He's correct.
That's the way you see it?
Yeah, I do. They do a lot of different things offensively. They run split backs, but it's not the traditional split back veer that John Curtis or teams like that run. It's more of a, man, they get you in unbalanced looks. They run the sweep really well. Now, they still run the dive, and they run that well, but, man, they got a lot of other things you got to pay attention to, you know. I told our kids, you know, we got to be extremely disciplined. Lining up correctly is going to be a big thing because they'll go on first sound a lot. They'll go on 2 a lot. They'll give you a bunch of different looks, you know. But, you know, Foot's a real good guy. You know, I think the world of him, you know, and You know, I'd love to beat him.
I love it.
So with these guys, it's not, I mean, obviously the physical aspect, but with these guys, it sounds like it's as much of a mental aspect on defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, our kids, we've been really simple with our defense this year, which has allowed them to play really fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's worked up to this point, so we're going to see if that holds true, if we kind of keep things simple and let them just play. You know, I think lining up, like I said, is going to be a big thing. But they've also got they got a quarterback that can throw it around a little bit. You know, and I've seen that on film. You know, he can throw the ball, and they got some receivers that can go get it. So we got to be good in the secondary too.
Yeah.
So
don't pay any attention to their 4-4 record. You know, I thought Jeremy Mayer should have gone into concussion protocol when I saw Westman.
Westman.
Is that a misprint?
Whenever I saw that, Joey, I sent him a text. I said, "Dude, what are you doing?"
He's scheduled right after happy hour.
Yeah.
Never schedule after happy hour. That's.
But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, I think that made his team better. You know, playing against a team like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's good to have that measuring stick.
Bad.
Yeah, that's right.
Healthy,
Especially if you come out healthy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really good experience for your team.
And you know, with somebody like West Monroe, they're not going to sit there and run it up and pound you, and they're going to substitute quick.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Which kudos to you. You do the same thing. You've had some blowouts, and you've taken kids out at into the second quarter.
Well, you know, I tell the kids, you know, because inevitably I'm going to have a kid whenever we get up, you know, big on somebody. Coach, can we throw this route? Can we throw this route? No, we cannot. Because I've been on the other end of that stick.
Right.
I have been on, you know, the 50-0 blowouts, you know.
Yeah.
And it's no fun.
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately we do this for the kids, you know, and there's no reason to try to do that to an opposing team, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just my thoughts. You know, different coaches have different thoughts, but, you know, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that this week, you know.
Right.
I think it's going to be tooth and nail. I think both teams are going to battle, you know, and I'm looking forward to
those
it.
kind of things that
This
is why you do.
It gets you fired up. As Javari, you know, he missed last year against Delhi Charter because he got injured in the Delhi game, and he said, "Coach, I've been having this one circled. I've been ready for this one." So I'm hoping that we have a big game out of him. So
yeah, sure need it. Final question. I'm kind of going to go off chart here a little bit and talk about the Michigan situation. How big an advantage is that sign stealing, and how much hot water do you think there is?
I don't know, but it's pretty obvious they were stealing signs. You know, I mean, it's
something new comes up every day.
Yeah, it's pretty blatant. You know, I don't know. My thoughts on it are if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. No, I'm just kidding. But if another team makes it so obvious what their signals are, I mean, you have to be aware of what you're sending out. You know, For instance, I'm the one that sends out the signals on our sideline. If a team catches on to my signals, then I've got to start bringing my quarterback over and sending him to play with him that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't take offense to it. I think you're just doing your homework.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But
kind of Bill Belichick way.
You know, right. But my thing is, you know, just like in the NFL, you know, you've had the technology to be able to talk to them through their helmet for so long now.
Yeah.
Why is that not in the college game? You know, if it's such a big issue, why is that not allowed in the college game?
Hey, I'll tell you what, we're gonna jump. Do you have a minute to stay with us?
Absolutely.
We're gonna jump to some college talk. This is a good segue into. Why don't you stay and just talk a little college with us?
Sure, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So we'll be we'll just keep this conversation going when we get back, and I've got a couple more things I want to hit on. But you want to make any predictions about this Friday night's game before we? Give you the opportunity to. You want to predict?
Absolutely, I can 100% guarantee that it's going to be a good game.
All right, we'll be right back with some college talk.
Hey y'all, my name is Katie Bellamy. I'm the physical therapist here at Trinity Medical. Physical therapy is a health profession intended to promote, restore, integrate, and maintain physical health. We accomplish this through exercise, manual therapy, electrotherapeutic thermal modalities, and neuromuscular re-education, and a variety of skilled interventions. We treat pediatric patients, orthopedic patients, neurological patients, post-surgical, and specialize in fall risk assessment and management. Physical therapy helps identify and improve physical deficits with conservative treatment, which allows our patients to get back to the quality of life they deserve. If you have a physical therapy need, come see us here at Trinity Medical.
Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We are in the studio today with one of our awesome partners, Mr. John Hicks from Hicks Chiks, and we are here for a challenge. I grew up with a mama that could throw down in the kitchen.
I hear you.
So I'm used to homemade.
I think you'll be happy.
So I'm gonna taste these and I'll let you know from my expert homemade mama cooking how good these are.
They're good, I can tell you. What do you think?
You win. This is delicious. It's unbelievable. I'm truly amazed that it tastes this good. It's that easy.
It's almost too easy.
Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. We want to tell you about our awesome partner, Dr. Gregg and Gregg Veterinary Hospital. Gregg Veterinary Hospital has been providing comprehensive, reliable, cutting-edge veterinary services to pets in the Miss Lou since 2002. They welcome pets of all shapes and sizes who are in need of emergency treatment or who require routine medical, surgical, and dental care. Dr. Gregg and his team offer a long list of services, including in-house laboratory diagnostics, digital x-ray, soft tissue, orthopedic surgery, dental care, extractions, laser surgery, laser therapy, preventative health, and wellness plans. And if you need grooming and boarding services, they do that too. So call Gregg Veterinary Hospital today. All right, we are back. Champion Sports Talk. This man's so interesting, we just kept him on for another segment. What the heck?
Honorary gift.
He said he hated to stay around and talk ball, but somebody's got to do it. Joe, that's one of the things that I was going to talk about. I think that you covered a lot of my thoughts on it too. We're getting into the helmet talk and everything, and that's one of the things that I find interesting is just seems like such a simple fix. But maybe there's information I'm missing or something.
I don't know. I mean, I saw this year that they're putting LSU had air conditioners placed in their helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, if we got this kind of technology, why not use it? I mean, it just I don't know. I'm sure there's a money issue somewhere that I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
But that's usually was it the Don Ohlmeyer quote? Answer to all your questions is money. So.
Well, plus, if you're Jim Harbaugh, you don't do anything to make. They're already after you.
Right.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, and I've got something else I think super interesting. I want to hear your opinion on, both of you guys' opinion on. But my last question on this is this it for Jim Harbaugh? I mean, either way, whether they can him or whether he says, you know what, the heck with this, I'm going back to the pros because he's in demand.
I'm shocked that he hasn't went back to the NFL yet. Yeah. Because he did a fantastic job in San Francisco, and had those guys, in the Super Bowl, and I was kind of surprised whenever he went back to the college game, but there was his alma mater, and there's emotional attachments there, but I think it's kind of ran its course. I think I could see him leaving to go back to the NFL.
And I'm just waiting to see the ramifications of this, what the NCAA is going to do. Because
Right.
if they penalize him, that shakes everything up.
No doubt.
I would
Yeah,
could
and
probably
is
get
it-
back in.
Yeah.
And
Of
is it
course.
this year? Is it this year, or do they weigh? I mean, there's
That's
so,
right.
there's so many variables right
Right. Do they have a strong? I think they have a strong enough case with.
now.
Yeah.
They
I'm-
drive.
I think Harbaugh, and I find Harbaugh pretty fascinating. He's just a very unique character.
Mhm.
He's one of those football guys that you look back 100 years and he's going to be in the books that they talk about.
All right.
Steve Spurrier.
Right.
He's good for the game, but he's got a shelf life. You know, I think he probably
Sure.
wears on everybody around him.
Sure.
But something that I wanted to talk about is with the Caleb Williams at USC, you know, they lost another game, and then you start to see all this stuff pop up on social media, talk radio about does he need to shut it down and get ready for the pros and all of that. Where are we at with, you know,
I think he's already shut it down against the good
Yeah.
teams.
I mean,
That away.
you know, I mean, what are your thoughts? I can honestly see both sides.
Yeah.
Now I lean towards finish what you started, but I can see both sides. I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on just that concept in general.
I've always been against, you know, kind of tanking that type of deal. You know, my thing is, you know, for Williams, you know, that brings his integrity into question. You know, because you know that you're probably going to go to a not great team. You know, so if that team starts struggling, do you shut it down? Do you just say, oh, well, I'm not going to play my best, you know, because you know we're not that good. You know, I mean, my thing, I want to see somebody who's going in there and fighting every game. You know, who's competing hard every game. That's the guy I want on my team.
Yeah, that's,
You know,
I'm with you. Yeah.
and I've heard, you know, rumors that, you know, he doesn't want to go to the Bears or he doesn't want to go to, man. My thing is, you're finna get paid millions of dollars. You know, just go in there.
Where's that going to lead to?
He's already made several demands, and it's like,
Yeah,
you're not even beating the good college teams right now. What do
Right.
you think you're going to do when you get to the pros?
right.
I think he's a good player, but I'm just saying, like.
Well, I've never been for the kids opting out of bowls. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, me either.
But you're letting your teammates down.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, I can, you know, like, I try to be open-minded, and if somebody said, man, think these kids have so much on the line, and a lot of these kids come from very poor backgrounds and this and that, you know, I'm like, I can see not wanting to risk an injury and generational wealth. I get that. That's a valid point. But I think with insurance these days,
NIL.
yeah, well, no, but
Yeah.
with not even counting NIL, these colleges have insurance based on your projected draft selection. So, I mean, he's obviously going to be, if not number one, he's high first round pick.
Mhm.
So if something were to happen to him, he's insured for up to a certain amount or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that when you take that into consideration, I think it kind of waters down that argument a little bit.
Yeah.
And then brings it back to, okay, are you going to be there for your coaches? Are you going to be there for because when your coach loses his last 5 games, then his generational wealth might be out the window, you know, because you're letting down a lot of people when they're depending on
Right.
you.
And it's also a kind of a, you know, what have you done for me lately
Right.
type league, you know, as well. You know, if he were to get injured or something like that, you know, an NFL team's not going to bat an eye to say, we don't want you.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
want you.
Right.
We don't need you.
Yeah, that's
you know?
right.
So, I
wonder
mean,
how many of these guys who did opt out of bowl games would look back now and say, wow, I wish I would play.
absolutely. You know, hindsight's always 20/20,
Right.
you know, for sure. I don't know. It's an interesting topic for
Yeah.
sure, you know,
Yeah.
because, I mean, you got arguments on both sides. So,
Yeah.
you know, I wish I was in that situation. And it'd be,
Yeah. And then from a coaching standpoint, you know, you have to take into recruiting. So like you said a while ago about a different topic, it's sad that coaches can't say more. As a coach, you really can't say a lot because those guys, that next wave coming in, be like, I want to play for him.
Yeah.
You know, you got to walk on eggshells as a coach by what comes out of your mouth
What?
at that college level, especially.
you really do.
And how many Alabama players have you ever seen opt out of the game? I don't know many.
Yeah, not as many, for sure.
And that's that
Yeah.
what you talk about with tradition and the loyalty.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we've got a couple minutes left on our in this segment, and then we're gonna get Jessica Anderson in, from promotions for the casino with us for a few minutes. But I know it's not this weekend, but coming up since we got you here, the big game. We were talking off air about, I think LSU is holding cornerback tryouts next week. Right now, Joey's third on the depth chart.
Congratulations.
I'm going to shut him down, baby.
That's right. Lock down Joey.
Yeah, he's third on the depth chart at the moment, which I think doesn't necessarily bode well for LSU, but who knows? He seems to be more confident.
Yeah. Confidence, man. That's a big part of it.
Now, he said that his strategy is going to be when they throw the ball deep, he's going to take off his helmet and shine the light in their eye. He's going to do like
use what you got.
Use
what you got.
That's right. He's going to try to reflect in their eyes. I'm one to be talking at him. But so what do you guys thought on the LSU Alabama game? That's going to be an interesting game, and I think that quarterback situation throws all logic out the window.
Yeah.
So what do you think about? What are you expecting?
Man, tough, hard-nosed physical game. I think Alabama's going to be definitely prepared in their passing game to try to exploit those weaknesses in the secondary. Now, I think we can offset that by getting pressure on the quarterback, with Perkins, and those guys like that. But you got to be creative against Alabama. You got to throw in some wrinkles that they haven't seen, because, Saban and them, they've seen it all. They've seen it all. So, and you got to show them something maybe new and fresh that they're not used to, just wrinkles here and there. But I think as long as LSU can move the ball consistently like they've been moving, and constantly put pressure on Alabama's defense.
Think it's a high-scoring game?
I think so. I think it's got a potential to be a high-scoring game. And usually when I say that, it's 10-10.
Let me ask you this, and then I'll let Joey kind of round out the segment for us. From a coaching standpoint, do you see any improvements on the LSU defense? Because I'm watching more from a fan's eyes. I think I know a lot, but obviously you've forgotten more than I know. So, do you see any strategy changes or anything? Because they seem to be playing a little bit better the last couple of weeks, or is it just a product of who they've played?
I think that could be a lot of it. It seems to be like our tackling and fundamental stuff seems to be a little bit better. I don't know so much of it as a scheme issue, because, there's all kind of schemes that have won a lot of football games, and basically on defense, comes down to man or zone. Either you're a man team or a zone team, and I think we've done a better job of mixing up our coverages and whatnot. But look, at the end of the day, players win games. So if you don't have those starting corners, there's a reason they were started. So it comes down to the Jimmys and Joes, not the X's and O's, as they say. But I think we're doing a better job defensively. Now, of course, that's going to be tested against Alabama. We're going to see where we're at for sure.
I think LSU has to score at least 45 points to win because Way's been playing lately.
Yeah.
But I look for high scoring. But I got to ask you something. Bringing in Pete Jenkins, that kind of frustrates me because it's like, you now see the problem, and he's found some stuff. That
is a little frustrating from a fan base.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, whenever you get paid, whenever you have a coaching staff that's getting paid in the millions of dollars, you expect them to be able to see certain things,
Yeah.
And to have to bring in Pete, he's 85-year-old coach, bringing in Pete to say, hey, look, guys, this is what you need to fix. But at the same time, I will say this: having that veteran eye, it's good to be able to have that guy to lean back on, if you need him, because what has Pete Jenkins not seen? He's seen it all.
Yeah.
And the first thing he talked about, y'all got to get closer to the line.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I could say that.
Just little things.
That was frustrating.
We tell the kids all the time, it's the little things that win and lose ball games. It's the little things. And I think Pete came in there and he was, kind of set some of those little things straight, that maybe sometimes you miss looking at the bigger picture,
But the fans know everything.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I know I do when I'm watching LSU.
Oh man, I definitely think I do in the moment. No doubt about it. But that's why they call us fans.
That's right.
That's what makes it exciting.
I told them as long as they pay their money and come in the game, hey, I'm fine. They can have all the opinions they want.
I just interviewed our partner from over at Mart and Wardo's, Tom Granning. He's a great guy. I just interviewed him in the studio the other day, and he was telling me that his dad was an SEC referee, and I said, does that make you go easier on the referees when you're watching the LSU games and stuff? He said, not at all. So
I know that.
I thought that was funny.
His dad, Al Granning, was one of the best.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you looked up to him, and all the other referees knew.
Yeah.
You follow what this guy does, you'll be a great referee.
Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate you coming on.
Man, thanks for having me.
We
man. I enjoyed it. Yes, sir.
We'll be right back after a quick break with Jessica Anderson from the casino. The light went out. What happened? We'll be right back after this quick break.
Play to win our Pumpkin Patch Progressive and Black Friday weekend drawings. It's time to gobble up over $50,000 in winnings at Magnolia Bluffs Casino Hotel. It's always a good time. Visit MagnoliaBluffsCasino.com.
All right, guys, we are back. Champion Sports Talk. Got Miss Jessica Anderson in the house. How are you?
Hi, doing good. How about you?
We're happy to have you. So me and Joey have been talking about. We're like, we got to bring somebody in that makes us look better here on set. And we tried to bring in Coach Wheeler, and that didn't work either. He's in the same boat we are.
Craig's not here, so
I mean, yeah. so I think you're making us look better here. That's right.
Better, I think so.
With that pretty smile. That's right. So Jessica is the Players Club manager here at Magnolia Bluff Casino.
Yes.
And we wanted to talk about some promotion stuff today, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you want to? I'll let you take.
Okay. So this weekend we're wrapping up our bobbing for apples, and what guests have been doing for the past 3 weekends is picking caramel apples out of our little pumpkin patch area, and it has free play and an apple product on it. But instead of getting the apple product, they just get cash for that as well. Okay. So they've been having a lot of fun with that.
I just want the caramel apple.
The caramel apple.
I'll just take the
like
apple.
Me,
I need the money. I need the money. Yeah, that sounds like a fun deal.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah. And my Players Club people over there, they've been having a lot of fun with the rest with it. Yes.
Good.
And then we have our $10,000 Unmask of Fortune. That's going to be Saturday, November the 4th. Okay. And with that, the guests just come up, they get a mask, and there is cash under those masks and free play under those masks. Then at 10 p.m., we will have one lucky guest that wins that $5,000 in cash. Yep. So we brought that $5,000 in cash back.
I think Halloween's fun around here.
I know. We're always having fun.
I know it.
You guys definitely do that.
Well, she told me her cousin is Slick Matthews and Lewis
yes.
Matthews, so that's fun right there.
That's your people, man.
That's our people.
Joey's been covering those guys a long time.
Mm-hmm. She's a Trojan.
I am, very much so.
Look, she got the Trojan colors on. Was that on purpose?
Yes.
The Trojans do everything on purpose. You gotta watch them. I'm telling you,
Trojan.
You gotta watch them.
Yes, once a Trojan, always a Trojan.
That's it.
That's right. So we got a lot of fun stuff for Halloween and all that. And then as we get into November, what do we have going?
So in November we have our Pumpkin Patch Progressive. That is when we'll call a guest up to select a pumpkin. Well, actually, they're going to select 15 pumpkins, or they can stop whenever they get ready. But there's a progressive out there. The progressive is worth $200. Each hour that progressive is not picked, it goes up by the hour.
Okay.
Yep. And then if it's not picked that Friday that we have the drawing, it goes into the next Friday.
Okay.
So they have a chance to win some good cash in this promotion as well. The next one that we have is our Black Friday weekend promotion.
Okay.
And I'm excited because it's new to the casino because we're tying this in with Black Friday weekend after Thanksgiving. So with that one on Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th, we're going to have like a doorbuster. So it'll be 2 times the points, and it'll happen from open to 1 p.m. and then they get to come up and they get to pick a card. It's a big black. It's several cards really out of a deck. If that card just so happens to be black, they get free play and they get cash on that card.
Okay.
And then we brought back the markets giveaway. And that's where the guests have a chance to win a gift card from the markets here in the area.
Okay.
So some pretty good stuff, and that actually happens on November the 18th.
Okay.
And they'll just be earning points all day and getting those gift cards.
Good stuff.
Look, if I just want to say, if you win all that money down here, then just come on down to Rise and Shine Studio, mile 363, and get yourself some nice gifts from us and all that. Any of our great partners out there. So it's a lot of good local places you could spend that money. Just saying. Just saying. So before we get you out of here, I want to hear your prediction on how the Trojans are going to finish the season here.
I think we're gonna finish pretty good.
You think so?
Yep, I got faith in them.
They're gonna make a little run. You think? I think they got a little run in them.
I think they got some run in them.
Okay. I do too. They played a tough schedule, but I think that they're a good team. And
Everything I'm hearing out of the 8th grade class.
Yeah.
Look out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and my son is actually playing junior high ball. He's in 6th grade.
Okay.
So he's coming right on along, and once we get to high school, I hope we still have this program because I'm on it every week.
We do too, Jessica.
Yeah. Well, we started with 4 fans out there, and now we're up to 12. So our trajectory is right up there.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think by then we'll have at least 30.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I'm hoping to be here too. We've had a great response. So we may be here. So,
we will be.
That's right.
Be. We'll be here.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, and we got to get Tim on here to do the picks. I see him over there getting ready.
He is so ready.
But we appreciate you coming in. We appreciate your positive attitude and your beautiful smile and everything that you bring to the team here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with Tim with our Take It to the Bank Locks of the Week.
All right.
Play to win our Pumpkin Patch Progressive and Black Friday weekend drawings. It's time to gobble up over $50,000 in winnings at Magnolia Bluffs Casino Hotel. It's always a good time.
Visit magnoliabluffscasino.com.
All right, guys, we are back with our Take It to the Bank segment of Champion Sports Talk. How you been, man?
Doing well.
Glad to have you back. We got Tim Morrissey here from Vice President of Magnolia Bluff Casino, who joins us every Thursday morning right here.
That's right.
So we've been making these picks every week, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but I know you're aware of Joey starting out 0-5.
I'm aware.
Because we were putting up goose egg and all that on the screen, and we were giving him a hard time. And
apparently we hit a nerve.
Do you know what his record is since then? He was 0-5. Since then, he's 9-0 with 1 push.
That's right. 9-5-1.
I'm just trying to improve each week and take them 1 pick at a time.
I'm just glad he hasn't been making them over at the sports book.
9 wins in a row with 1 push. That's what you call on fire.
That's right.
And you have been steady, Freddie. And I apparently went to the side of the cliff and just fell off the side of it.
That's right.
We're all over the place here. So I'm 7-8 overall right now. You're 8-7, and Joey's 9-5-1. But as we get closer to the year, we've already discussed that we may turn that 1 into a loss.
That's right.
If it comes down to it. So
it's certainly not a win.
It's certainly not a win. And we got 3 votes, and we've already talked in the background. We may turn it into a loss.
Majority rule.
Majority rules. That's right.
It's kangaroo court.
I tell you what, these things are getting harder to pick.
They are.
Yeah, they really are.
You were talking about how it's getting harder to
just you get more data points. It's crazy how more to go off of. Just gets tougher and tougher each week. I had a hard time this week going down the list, and
same here.
There's no ones that just jump out to you and you go, oh, they got that one wrong. You really got to dig into it and try and find an angle.
Yeah, some of these that Me and you both had some heartbreak. I mean, I lost one this week by 1 point, and I mean, it's just half point here, 1 point here. It makes a big difference. So let's start with college like we always do. You got yours. You got yours, Joey.
I do.
You want to go first?
Yeah. I'm gonna go on a limb here and take Southern Cal. I just think they are due, and
I did not see that one coming.
yeah. I think they've got something to prove, and it's not a huge game, so I just think they'll show up.
Who am I to doubt this man? That's
Golden Bears, huh?
11 points. Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to go?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll go. I've got. This is a little bit of reverse psychology because, as many of you know, I can't stand Ole Miss. I'm a Tiger, so I think this is Ole Miss's last cupcake before they've got a couple games in a row. They've got Texas A&M, they've got Georgia coming up, so I think they're going to be looking to make a impression this week against Vandy. They're 25-point favorites, but I think they're going to put the hammer on Vandy this week. So I'm going to take Ole Miss, and this is one that I hope to lose, and I hope to lose big enough that Ole Miss loses. So, no, I think they're going to hammer Vandy this weekend. So I'll take Ole Miss.
I'm going to be rooting for you. That's one of those ones I smell a backdoor cover coming. I think they may be out big at the beginning, but they start sitting some of those starters and anything can happen. But
this is a big game for them as far as they've got a couple of big games coming, and I know that Kiffin looks at stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
He's like a little kid, always thinking about stuff that he's not supposed to be.
I'm going to Oklahoma this week. They're undefeated so far. They're going into a game against Kansas where everything looks like they should win and should win pretty easily, but there's been some upsets in those matchups before. I've heard a lot of talk this week about Oklahoma being concerned about an upset and ruining their perfect record so far, but I think they get it done. I think they mean business this year.
10.
I'm going Sooners -10.
Man, they had a scare last week.
Yeah.
Woo. Malzahn, the fighting Malzahns over there, UCF. Man, came down to a 2-point conversion, right?
I think they've got to come out this week and get back on track.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Okay, so let's jump over to the pro side of things. I'll go ahead and knock mine out, and then I'll pass it to y'all and round it up. I think my pro this week it's a big spread for the NFL. It's an 8-point spread. Detroit's favorite, but I'm going to take Detroit because the Raiders seem like, they got hammered last week by the Bears. They seem like the wheels are kind of coming off a little bit. I'm going to take Detroit to cover that. I think that's Monday. Yeah, that's Monday night game.
Monday night?
And I think Detroit's kind of looking to bounce back too. So lock Detroit in. Monday Night Football. What you got, Joey? We'll wrap it up.
It's amazing that we have never, any of us ever picked the
same game.
Yeah.
we don't talk about it beforehand,
we don't.
Strictly by luck that we haven't picked the same game yet.
Yeah. That's right. Is this where he says, but?
Then again, now I'm going with the Tennessee Titans. I just like them at home, and I think they can win it.
Getting 2.5.
Yeah,
getting 2.5 right there. Dead center.
Yeah, right here. Okay, I got you. Okay.
He's getting older.
So I was just thinking about this while Joe was making his pick, that we haven't done that yet. But if Joey goes 2-0 again this week, I'm going to start letting Joey go first every week. And I'm going to be like, you know what, Joey? That was exactly what I was thinking.
Look at this.
It's funny that we're starting to see so much of the same stuff here. What you got?
I'm riding the Swiftie train.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Kansas City, going to Denver. Denver just hasn't had it this year. Chiefs have been hot. I am a little worried. When I looked originally, this was a 7-point game. I got the new sheet this morning, and apparently other people like the Chiefs this week as well because Craig's bumped it to 7.5.
Okay.
A little worried about that half point. I've had a couple of hooks get me already this season, but I'm going to stay on. That was my pick early. I'm going to stay on it. Kansas City Chiefs minus 7.5.
All right. We've got them locked in, and it's official. It's on record. So you got anything that you want to say about anything you got coming up? We talked about some promotions with Jessica and everything.
That's right.
Give you a minute or so to.
Yeah, I mean, there's just another busy weekend here in town. A lot of stuff going on, so hope to see folks. Huh? Yeah. We're going to have to edit that out. There's a lot of stuff going on around town. Hope to see people out. And we do have an exciting addition to the casino floor. We opened up last week a new high-limit room.
Okay.
Where the poker room used to be located. We've now got about 30 high-limit machines in there. We've got some new games on the way. So when you come in, make sure to check that back wall, look at the high-limit sign, go through those doors, check out those new machines. They've been paying out pretty good for folks that are giving that new room a new chance. And we're excited to continue to add new things here at Magnolia Bluffs.
Yeah. Well, we always enjoy coming down. We always feel welcome. We love the place. We love the people. Really more than anything else, we love the staff. We love the people here. So I see some food come. I always get distracted when I see food.
Love lunch.
So
ooh,
what do we have today?
Oh, this is our new special next month.
My goodness, this is the November special.
Spaghetti and meatball.
Mamma mia! That's my country Italian accent. Oh my goodness!
Oh, it looks delicious.
That looks delicious.
Can they fire me up one of those?
Man. Oh man. So you guys know the drill. When the food comes, it's time to go. So Tim, we appreciate you coming out. I mean, we appreciate you joining us and letting us come out to your place.
It's absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching as always. Thanks to Coach Wheeler for coming on. That was fun. We kept him on, talked a little college ball. Yeah, big game. Good luck. Good luck to Jessica. I mean, thank you to Jessica for coming on. Thank you to all of our partners who make this possible. Just thanks for watching. God bless everybody out there. And as always, have a champion day.
Hi, it's Shannon with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. If you like what we're doing, be sure to follow, like, share, and even comment on all our content. Also, visit MissLouChampions.com to sign up for our newsletter and to receive other information, as well as the opportunity to receive some awesome prizes. Thank you, Miss Lou, for your continued support, and as always, have a champion day.